I've already started my Yule preparations for this year, but I'm not quite finished yet. There are still a few things I want to do before the Winter Solstice as a modern witch. So let's spend this weekend together again and prepare for the darkest day of the year. Good morning, magical one. How are you doing? I really hope you had a beautiful, magical week. And my week has been quite stressful, to be completely honest, because there were quite a lot of appointments that involved people. And so my social battery is basically empty for probably the rest of the month. But today is December 14th, and so it's only a few more days until Yule. And so yesterday I was cleaning my home, and I'm quite proud of myself because there has been times where I was just too tired or overwhelmed or depressed to even get up and do the cleansing magic that I always tell you is so important. And I really want to do what I tell you myself, because I don't want to say something that I don't even do myself. It's just not authentic to me. And so I was like, I want to clean my home because I always tell you guys how important the cleansing magic is, especially around this time of the year. And so I have been really good with keeping my home clean for, even the past few months, really. But there is this phenomenon where I usually feel really good when everyone else around me is having a hard time. I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm like, life is good, I'm happy, people around me are like, what's going on? What is written in the astrology? I don't feel good. It really feels super heavy right now. And then whenever people around me are, life is good, I'm happy, I'm super down, I'm super exhausted. And so, right now is a time where I feel good, which means that maybe you are having a hard time. And so I just wanted to say that if you today are feeling overwhelmed or too tired or exhausted or depressed to do anything, it's completely okay. Please be kind to yourself. Please don't put too many to-dos on your list. Just be proud of yourself for getting out of bed, for brushing your teeth, for walking your dog. No matter how small it is, be kind to yourself, because right now we are in a time where we are supposed to reflect and to slow down and to pause. And modern living turned this time of the year into this stressful time where we feel obliged to kind of put one thing after another on our to-do list and to force ourselves to do so many things. So be kind to yourself and slow down and allow nature to guide you into the rhythm of the season. Again, Yule is coming closer, and there is still a few more things that I want to do this weekend to be prepared for Yule like a witch. I want to do some crafting. I want to prepare for a little ritual for the 12 magical nights, and I'm going to share it with you. So make yourself cozy, get your favorite drink, and I really hope that this video can be a little spark of light in your day. So let's prepare for Yule. Now, when I was at the thrift store last time, I saw these cute little walnut ornaments, and I'm pretty sure that someone made them way back in the day. So your witch got inspired by that, of course, and so I decided to do a spell and wrap it in a cute little walnut. This spell is super easy. You simply need to crack open a walnut, and I did my best to not break it. It took a few tries, but then I managed to get one that was complete, and I simply wrote my wish, my intention on a piece of paper. I folded it up, I filled the walnut with ingredients that were corresponding to my wish, and then I glued everything together, I decorated it, and that's already it. Now I have it hanging on the Yule intention tree that we made together last week, and I just really love it. I don't know what it is, but I really feel like this little walnut spell is super powerful. Now I had another thing on my Yule to-do list for this year, and so of course that meant getting crafty again. I found all of these walnuts in nature and I was so happy about it because this was such a gift, right? And even the spell I made earlier got so much more meaning because of that fact. And so I decided with the other walnuts, because they are way too pretty to throw them away, I wanted to make some tiny toadstools that I could put into them, because I know that the fairies will love them. Did you know that old books really are perfect to be turned into some whimsy Yule decor? Because you can make the most magical paper stars with them. And so next on my list was to craft some Yule paper stars. And here I'm folding the paper. I did my best to show you exactly how they are made. They are super easy once you get a hang of it. And then we turned all of that into mass production, because trust me, you cannot stop making them. They are so pretty and cute, and as you will see later in this video, they really make the most cozy whimsy decor for like so less money. I even made them for free because I got this book for free, so there is no excuses to not make a ton of beautiful magical Yule paper stars this year. Okay, so yesterday I finally found the time to clean this little corner of my home. And I do really love it because this is where I dry my herbs. I also have my most favorite crystal right here, this big amethyst. I just love it. And so I always try to do my best to keep it clean, but it tends to get super dusty, and it is my abundance corner. So yesterday I gave it a good cleanse because I can definitely feel the energies flowing whenever I clean it. And I learned that when you take a look at your home and you find these corners that are always cluttered, it can tell a lot about subconscious blocks. And so I found it interesting while doing the cleansing magic for Yule to look through my home and really pay attention to the piles of like stuff in certain areas and corners of my home. So that was interesting. And I also cleansed and cleared my nature cabinet that we thrifted together and repainted it. But before I put in all of the little nature treasures that I collected over the months and years at this point already, I thought, wait a minute, we could do this together because I could show you all of the things that I found. And so this is what we are going to do now. Okay, so here it is, our nature cabinet, and as you can already tell, we have quite a lot of treasures that we need to put back into the nature cabinet. And if you can hear anything, this is like Bella in the background. But yeah, I cannot wait to put it all back in because it looks so whimsical and magical. The only downside is the dust that is collecting all over the nature cabinet. But that is fine because it is whimsical and I love it. And I really wish I could put the nature cabinet like up on the wall because I just love when like there is multiple of these nature cabinets on the wall and there is like little treasures in them. I really wish I could have them up on my wall and have multiple of them. But that is for the future home. So yesterday I already recorded the whole tour of the nature cabinet. I showed you everything that's inside of there, but the video got so long and I don't want this video to be 2 or 3 hours long. And so I thought I could simply put this portion in a separate video and like really give you a detailed tour of the nature cabinet and its treasures. If this is something you would like, let me know in the comments down below. And so right now I'm just going to show you like my most favorite things in there, like the things that I'm so happy that I found. And I really feel like filling this nature cabinet up with treasures from nature and putting it on a wall is really on top of my bucket list right now. It feels like this is my main goal in life right now. But yeah, let me show you my favorite things from the nature cabinet. Okay, so first of all, we have this ivy leaf that we found together last week. I just really love how detailed it is, and I feel like it adds perfectly like to the aesthetic. This is also one of my most favorite things. It's this hazelnut, but you can still see the little teeth from the mouse or like the squirrel that had a feast. And we also have a hexstone. You already saw this in like a video really at the beginning of my YouTube journey. We have another really cool looking stone. And what else do we have? Maybe I'll show you this one. This is, I feel like if I had to like choose one thing from all of the nature cabinet things, I think I would choose this one because it looks like a fairy wing, a fossil fairy wing. And when I saw this, I was like, my jaw dropped. Let's just say like this, because it is just perfect. It really looks like a fairy wing. And so, yeah, we were off to a good start. This was one of the very first pieces that I found. I found this really cool piece of pine cone, and then it started to shed these little things, and it is in the shape of a womb. And so I thought this is super interesting, and so I started integrating the pine into my divine feminine work. So yeah, this is pretty cool as well. Now I also have this little cap of an acorn, and I simply put a pine cone inside. I feel like this is so cute. I always played with these, and like they were the dishes for the fairies. So I don't know, they really make me happy. Yeah, we are looking like a little poodle after a walk in the rain. But yeah, these are all of the things that I really treasure the most from my little nature cabinet. And let me know in the comments down below what you thought was the coolest treasure from there, or if there is anything in your nature cabinet that you just truly love. And now I want to keep going on with the Yule preparations and like Yule celebrations, and yeah, do some kitchen witchery. And I'm thinking baking Rune cookies. Like, I don't know, I just had this idea to make little Rune cookies in the most easiest way possible. So we are ready for the 12 magical nights. So another idea that I thought could be really fun for this year are Rune cookies. And these are the simplest cookies that I could find with I think like 3 or 4 ingredients. And I just really wanted to do some kitchen witchery for this year because I haven't done kitchen witchery in so long, even though I really love it, because just the process of making your pastry or your food in itself is such an act of magic. And so I really wanted to do something magical, and again we decided for Rune cookies. And I simply mixed all of the ingredients together, and I chose a buttery dough, which maybe was not the best idea because you really had to hurry up to engrave the runes into the cookies, and then they became so fluffy after cooking them that you can barely see the runes. So I will have to paint them on with some food coloring, but nevertheless they were so much fun, and I highly recommend that you make some Rune cookies this year. Okay, so the Rune cookies are in the oven and I don't have too much time because I think they are only supposed to be in there for like 20 or 25 minutes. And so I thought I'm quickly showing you the Yule stars that we crafted together yesterday. And I don't know about you, but I feel like this is such a cute idea for a witchy home. If you love books, if you just love a whimsy, cozy look, they are perfect. They are so easy if you like know how to make them. And I feel like after every single craft, my Virgo brain is like, okay, we can go into mass production now. We optimized and perfected the process. Let's make 100 of these. But it's always funny to see how like I'm struggling in the beginning and then like I find my way to like the perfect process, and then it's like, again, we are perfectly ready for mass production now. Like that's such a Virgo thing to like optimize the process with every single step. But we had a lot of fun and they turned out really cute. I even made a fairy star. It is this one because I was a little bit confused of like how to glue them together, and then I realized I did not properly glue them together in the first place, and now it's a really funny looking fairy star, which is fine. I even made a tiny little one from all of the like pieces that were left, and then my back hurt and I was like, we keep crafting, but not today, my friend. So that was such a cool evening activity. They are basically for free because I took a book from these bookshelves where you can take a book and like give a book back. And that's exactly what I did. I took the oldest looking book that I could find that was not in a good condition to turn it into cute little Yule stars. And I'm thinking putting them on my birch tree that I have close to my nature cabinet because we have not been decorating it for a very long time. But yeah, imagine them with like fairy lights on maybe a really cool looking piece of like on a stick and hanging it in your window, or like, I don't know, from your wall. Perfect. Like I feel like they are so cute. And now let's take out the cookies from the oven. So let's pray for them that they are still edible. So let's go. And here is our first little mushroom friend in the walnut. And isn't this so adorable? Like, why is everything so much better when it is very tiny? Let me know if you also want it to be so tiny that you could use a walnut as a boat. And by the way, what is this wish? Like, I feel like every single child has the wish to be tiny so it could fit into a walnut, right? Everyone had this dream and you cannot convince me otherwise. But here is the first one. I made a few more and this is how they look like. I kind of made them in like 3 parts. First of all, I made the stem and I also did my best to give it a little dimension and texture. Then I made this little piece and I put it on top. And last but not least, we have our little mushroom head. And I feel like they are super easy and so cute. So let's glue them together and paint them, and then let's decorate the walnut hangers. And last but not least, on my Yule to-do list for this year was to make an orange cranberry garland. And I wanted to turn this into an abundance spell because oranges to me are just the perfect fruit for abundance. They look so radiant and fresh, and I wanted to craft so many of these that I could cover my whole windows. I managed to cover one, and I tried so many oranges last week, and I definitely am going to do more because the smell is heavenly and it just looks beautiful. Wait until you see the windows covered in these orange cranberry abundance garlands. Alright, magical one, so I'm going to end this video here, but there is one more thing that is so dear to me. Now, Christmas is just around the corner, and when I was younger I always wanted to open up an animal shelter. And even though I don't have an animal shelter yet, I want to help my local fur babies as good as I can. And so I decided that with all the money I make from this video, I'm going to donate it to my local animal shelter. And if you want to help out even more, if you like the content, if you feel inspired by it, then you can totally do so. I will put a link in the description down below where you can help me as well. And again, every single euro is going to be donated to the local animal shelter. I'm going to buy blankets and food and toys, and I'm super excited. So even though I don't have the biggest means, I'm doing my best to bring some magic into, these fur babies' lives as well. So I'm going to end it right here. Again, everything is in the description down below. And we will hang out again next week. So I really hope you have a beautiful, magical week. Have fun preparing for Yule, and see you then. Bye bye.